Like I just have
like in your little
here.
square. Are you like, you know how right now there's like kind of a drop down view of all of us?
Yeah.
I don't know, in the line. If you click on yourself, like the video portion of yourself, and in the right corner, there should be a box with 3 dots.
Yeah.
And the fourth one down says rename.
Yeah, and then when I click on it, it just says enter new name here.
Yeah, for your profile picture, you have to do that in your settings. It's outside of this. So like if you have the desktop, you'll have to just open up the main box and go into your settings. You'll be able to convert it there.
Okay.
Awesome. Well, I guess it's a good time to get started. What time we got? So it's 10 after. So I think this is everybody that's joining us today. So welcome to day 4 of Leap In Online. Happy to have you all here again. You've made it through almost the whole first week, and we've only had a few bugs, which is great. So today we're going to do things a little bit differently. Obviously, we usually do our icebreaker, but we're going to kind of change things up a little bit. I'm just going to kind of go through today's agenda with you guys really quickly, so you have an idea of what's happening. So can we see this? There we go. So daily agenda review, that's right now. So we're going to do a little bit of what's called brag and drag this morning. And that is why our special guest joined us today, that Ryan Kelly. He's a former graduate of Leap In with myself from back in 2017. We're going to do a thing. I don't know if you guys have ever done this before. Sometimes it's called Rose and Thorns. Other times called Brag and Drag. There's lots of different names for it. But basically what we're going to do instead of our value proposition this morning, we're going to just go around kind of our virtual room here, and we're going to share one thing that we would consider a brag. So one thing in the last week or two that's gone really well, something we're really excited about, and then one thing that hasn't gone so well for us. And I'll let Ryan jump in first. So Ryan Kelly is the founder of Ascend Applications and a Grow Accelerator alum from Tech Alliance, a Leap In alum, as well as the Pillar Nonprofit and Innovation Works Social Enterprise Incubator alum, and also I think Western Accelerator alum. So Ryan has done, if you want to talk to somebody who's done all the accelerators, he's definitely someone to chat with. He also really knows how to work the system, so super great at networking. Now, he developed a software startup that leverages impressive AI-powered solutions to make the web more accessible for individuals with disabilities. His latest initiative, the Atrium Project, has been launched in partnership with local community organization 519 Pursuit, and features a simple and user-friendly online tool that allows users to offer help and also ask for help. From there, the user is prompted to submit an online form where a volunteer may process the request and fulfill like a help transaction via text message. So I know I'm kind of maybe murdering that a little bit, but I will let Ryan kind of maybe share a little bit about his story before we go into brag and drag. Tell us, a bit about your time developing your business, your time with Leap Junction, and how things have been going since. And then we'll go into our brag and drag. So welcome, Ryan. Everybody, give Ryan a nice warm welcome.
Yeah. So it's been a really interesting journey. I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, getting started at Leap. I had absolutely no sense of what I wanted to do or any direction, so to speak. So yeah, Leap was really helpful in getting started with that. I had a bit of a background in computer science, so I was able to build very crude software systems and infrastructure like that. So at first, the products that we were building and the accessibility tools, UI was really scrappy and it didn't visually look good, and then that backend was held together by duct tape and all that good stuff. So it was definitely a lean startup, what you could call that. So yeah, getting started with that, I found the Leap In Summer Incubator. So this just in 2017, and so I applied to that because it's awesome to get 5K. So yeah, I see some of you nodding. So yeah, it's nice. Helps with those cash flows. So yeah, I started with that. Then I moved on to the would have been the social enterprise incubator. So I got to meet a lot of other people who were it was like balancing people and profit, and so that was really cool because it shifted my mindset a little bit there to work with other people who had a similar goal as I did. Moving on after that, yeah, the Western Accelerator, that was a really cool experience to be surrounded by a bunch of entrepreneurs, but not just like, it was a very specific type of entrepreneur. More specifically, like they, everybody who was in there had a growth company. So the company was positioned to scale so they could, like hire, like a team of 50 plus or 100 plus. And so it was definitely the type of startup that would, like be considered VC backed. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I've always been a nerd. I enjoy learning and all that good stuff. And yeah.
Awesome.
So do you want me to move on to like the brag and drag and
How long do you have, Ryan? I'd love to ask you a couple more questions if you
Oh,
have
sure.
time.
Sure.
So I'm just curious to get a sense of, you've done so many accelerators slash incubators, and your company's been around now for going on 3 years, and now you've done this pivot to the Atrium project as well. I'd love to see if you could just share kind of maybe a quick summary of what it's been like to kind of live in this kind of startup land and have to make changes, and how kind of each stepping into each accelerator program change things for you along the way.
So it sucks, but it's exciting. So there's a lot of things that can go wrong, and so your job is to essentially navigate that. And so yeah, like even going back to like when I was first starting out, it was like I had a lot of or a decent amount of technical knowledge, but my business knowledge was really lacking there. So I, wasn't too sure about, what the business environment would look like, and like what forces I have to account for moving forward with the business. And so I started to figure that out over the course of a couple accelerators. And because yeah, like especially Western, like that was something that they were really trying to get me to focus on, and going into the grow cohort as well. So yeah, it's been a ride. I can't say good or bad one. It's just definitely, I find it exciting. So yeah.
Now, if there was, I'd love to know, actually, before I ask that question, I'd love to know if you could share a little bit more about the Atrium project with everybody, because I know I only did that little blurb that you sent me, but I think it's a really cool initiative. It's very timely with everything that's happening during COVID, and I'd love to have everybody learn a little bit about it, and in case there's someone here that, might be able to get on the platform, or might need, have someone who may need a little bit of help from it. And I'd love to know about how it's going with it as well.
Yeah, for sure. So to answer the first part of your question, so pretty much it's a site or a phone service, and so you can go onto atrium.app, register as a volunteer or a recipient. We'll get in touch with you, make sure you're a real person, and understand more about like why you want to volunteer for the platform. Then once we accept your account, you'll have essentially a bird's eye view of the city, and so you can search through all of the requests that are within the proximity that you set. So we can sort requests that way. And so we have people going on there asking for groceries, and so as a volunteer you'd be able to go on and accept that request. Then you get sent a copy of that to your phone, so that way you can leave the house without needing to have Wi-Fi to get those items. Then once you respond to the texting service, I will send you the address and directions, so Google Maps directions, so you can actually go make that delivery. So that's essentially how that works. And then the next part of your question, so how is it going so far? So it's actually been going really well. I'm excited with like how we've been growing and that sort of thing. And so we're up to I think it's about 200 volunteers in the city and about 30 recipients. And so one of the best things about the network right now is is actually the ratio of volunteers to recipients. The reason for that is because whenever we have a request that comes in, it's usually filled really quickly because of the imbalance there.
That's
So,
awesome.
yeah.
I'm happy for you, buddy. How's the team? And
Yeah.
how is it? So this is your first time working with a team. How's the team going?
You know, it's actually been really nice to have people to like delegate stuff to, but like I use that loosely because even if you delegate something, you're still responsible for it. But yeah, that's it's been really nice to like ask people to like help out with, you know, other things like compared to Ascend. It was me trying to like figure out how to do everything and then like get like 50% of the result that I was hoping to because I had never, you know, experienced that before. So yeah, that was kind of annoying. So with Atrium, it's yeah, it's definitely a lot nicer in that regard.
Awesome, awesome. Well, I know I don't want to keep you for too long. So what I want to do right now is shift gears a little bit, and I'm going to have everybody, you're going to do just a quick blurb about you and your business, just to give Ryan a better sense of who you all are. Networking is a key part of this platform, and we want to introduce you to Ryan, but just being on screen with your name isn't really helpful. So why don't we go around the room really quickly, and each of you just introduce yourselves and do your quick value proposition. And then once we do that, we'll head into a little bit of brag and drag. Sound good? So I'm gonna just go across my screen side to side. So first up would be Maxwell, and we're happy to see your face today instead of just the phone symbol.
I know. I'm happy to finally like actually see the video chat. It was kind of difficult going through the demonstrations of like the websites and stuff, but yeah, I'm happy to be here. My name is Maxwell. I run Face to Face Vintage. We provide quality vintage items at affordable prices, and our mission is to spread the harmful effects of fast fashion and create an online alternative to that. Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Maxwell. Next up, we have Jesse.
Morning, everyone. My name is Jesse Long, and I am the owner and founder of the Hot Sauce Co. We're a London-based premium hot sauce company, and our mission is to provide sustainable products to those who are willing to experience something fresh and exciting in flavor.
Awesome. Thank you, Jesse. Kristen, your turn.
Hey, good morning, everyone. My name is Kristen. I'm the creator of Soul Runners, and we offer approachable running and fitness classes to help anyone get to their next level of fitness. And our sessions empower students to attain their own personal goals with programs tailored to their specific needs.
Great job, Kristen. Thank you. Aaron and Omar.
Do you want to do this together, Aaron, or do you want to? How do you want to do it?
You guys
Sure,
can
yeah.
do, some synchronized popping.
Do you want me to say what it is, and then you can say what it does?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, so hi, Ryan. It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm here with my partner, Aaron Osborne. So we've been working on an application called Fast Track.
Fast Track is an application that will scan your packages, optimize your route, and then save up to 30% of your day. Yeah, it's good seeing you, Ryan.
Yeah, likewise. When you guys said you were going to go like back and forth, I was hoping like one of you would start with one word and then the other would get the other. I was really hoping to see that, but it's okay.
We should practice
Next time.
Yeah, we gotta practice.
Thanks, guys. Charlene, your turn.
Hey, I'm Charlene from Real Model Mom, and Real Model Mom teaches young women and men how to enter the entertainment industry with the confidence they need to achieve jobs and make their biggest dreams come true, both on and off the screen. Yeah.
Great. It was a little different than yesterday. Thank you, Charlene. I liked it.
I have a little bit more work to do.
This is why we do it. It's a work in progress, right? Kelly, you're up.
Hey everyone, I'm Kelly, and my company is Studio KBR, which is a ceramics and light design company with a focus on creating artfully designed small batch and handmade home goods, which are created to be loved and cherished for years to come. So, yeah. Thanks.
Thanks, Kelly. Jared?
Morning, everybody. My name is Jared Rogers. I'm the owner-operator of JR Welding. We specialize in custom fabrication of steel, aluminum, and stainless steel.
Awesome. Thank you, Jared. Suraj?
Sorry guys, I don't know, a blackout happened and all the electricity in my house is gone now. So I'm like sitting outside. I don't know why. So my roommates are calling the landlord. But anyway, hi everyone. My name is Suraj. I'm the co-founder of Taxably. Taxably is a tech-based accounting firm where we have created a platform where our clients will be able to submit their tax information electronically and securely to our platform, and it will be assigned to one of the tax preparers or accountants, and they will do the work for you and will be sent back, and everything is done electronically and in a paperless approach, which saves you time at the same time, gives you more value for your money.
Awesome. Thank you, Suraj. And lastly, we have Tyler French.
Hey guys, you guys can hear me okay?
Sure can.
Perfect. Bonjour, Josh Gomez. My name is Tyler French. I'm the owner of Celebration Event Facility Museum, based out of Chippewa-Thames First Nation, which is going to be a First Nation owned and operated business. We're going to focus on Indigenous artifacts with a little bit of love for hockey, and what we're goal in life is to make life's experiences more enjoyable while making it affordable.
Thank you very much, Tyler. And lastly, Ryan, do you remember your value proposition pitch? Ryan also won. He's one of our winners of a past pitch competition as well. So let's see how much you remember.
Well, it's changed a lot. Yeah, the old pitch was something like we help businesses meet accessibility compliance in less than 10 seconds using one line of code. That was the old one. I don't have a new one yet because we're pivoting, and that's actually my drag
Okay.
for this week.
Well, let's
yeah,
go
well,
drag and
that
drag.
one.
You can kick it off.
Oh, okay. So starting off with the drag, so for Ascend, we've had 2 competitors enter the space, and so it's been absolutely brutal because we were positioned to be first to market with the technology that we're building, and so that's been a little bit rough. So what we've done is we've pivoted to focus on consumers as opposed to businesses, and so as far as distribution goes, we're going to be using businesses as distribution for the consumer product. And so we're trying to experiment with that. And so we're getting there. It's just a lot of work that needs to be done going into like, price sensitivity and that sort of thing. So we're actually going to be running with a pay what you can model just to start to see what the market's willing to pay and, that sort of thing, what people feel comfortable with, just to test it out. So yeah, it's kind of sucks, but could be a lot worse at the same time. As far as my brags go, it's actually been a really good week other than that. So there's one thing that I can't say, but David, you'll probably see it soon enough. So I'm really excited about that. Yeah, we've for the Atrium project, we launched without like a way to monetize it, and so that was okay, like getting started. Like it's been like $50 or something to like keep that service going. So yeah, it hasn't been crazy by any means, but we're starting to look at like how we can use the technology that we built to monetize the platform. And so we found a couple applications, which has been awesome. So one of which is in like search and rescue. So where we need to deploy a large amount of volunteers in a very short amount of time. So search and rescue, like city evacuations and stuff like that. So organizations like Red Cross, Greenpeace, I can't remember the name of it, but it's the agency that like oversees a lot of the search and rescue missions in Canada.
That's
So
really
we're looking at like something like that, or we're also looking at a couple applications in agriculture as well. So in terms of just logistic
The cheese is supposed to melt.
farmers and that sort of thing. So that's where we're at.
awesome. That's crazy. So, you know, what I'm thinking of when you're saying that is, you know, the importance, like everything that's come to the Atrium project, you're a really good example of the importance of being quick and timely, but also being able to kind of, while you're working on something, you know, being able to experiment and, you know, like as you're pursuing revenue options, you know, it's important to think, guys, like we were talking about yesterday, you know, your plan A isn't always it's definitely not usually the plan that works out. So it's good to think about, you know, what are possible other things that could, you know, generate revenue and other things that you might be able to pivot your business with. And Ryan is definitely a great example of someone who's always learning and looking for new opportunities. So thank you for sharing that, Ryan. That's awesome.
Actually, if I can just add something, there's a really good, I can't remember if it's a quote or what it is, but pretty much if you're not happy with your MVP, then you did it right. And like it's just a great quote because it's about like just prioritizing, just getting something to market, and just getting that initial user feedback and scaling based off that, and keeping your like overall vision in mind, because that's going to be important as well. Because especially starting out, your consumers don't have the same vision for a product that you do, and so it's about prioritizing what feedback you want to take and what feedback will help you get closer to your vision and attaining that. So.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ryan. Okay, so we're gonna go, I'm not done with you yet, but we'll move on to everybody else here. Welcome, Kelsey. Good morning. How are you? Everybody say hi, Kelsey.
Hi, guys.
We're gonna start into the rest of our brag and drag. So we'll go opposite. I'm gonna just kind of pick it random here. So I wanna pick on Aaron first.
So I guess like one of the breaks is we have a company in London using the application, which is pretty good. One of the drags is dealing with the authentication with like Google Firebase is a huge pain. So having the thing update once the user logs in, it doesn't want to work.
So for those of us who have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, so the code isn't working and I don't know how to fix it.
Okay. That's better. Thank you. And what's your brag?
Oh, that we have a company in London using like in-house software at the moment.
Awesome.
Like
can you tell us who the company is?
So
oh, I think we lost Aaron.
Called Helix Courier Limited.
Awesome.
See, I was thinking that he made himself freeze so that he didn't have to tell us and made it look like he was actually just frozen.
Very timely. Oh, you're back. Hi, Aaron.
Oh, okay.
I told them. I told them what it was because you cut out. Do you want me to say one of our brags as well?
Yeah, definitely.
So one of our brags is we actually just had our advertisement finished, like the animation, and it's up on YouTube. So I'll actually post a link to it after we're all done the Zoom meeting at the end of the day if you guys want to check it out. But it turned out really cool.
Yeah, we'll give you some views. Let us know.
Yeah, we need it.
Let us know if you have a version of it, and we can get it out on social media. Share it for you.
Yeah, it's just on YouTube, so I can definitely just send a link.
Awesome. I'm excited to see it. Did you got the got a voiceover?
Got the voiceover and everything straight from the UK.
Oh, you got the British accent going. Amazing.
Yeah, we got the British accent.
What is
Attenborough?
Sorry, go ahead, Jesse. My bad.
I said David Attenborough.
No, but close.
Do you have a drag for us, Omar? It doesn't have to be business, it can be personal.
Personal? I think I'm kind of losing a little bit of sleep because I'm constantly looking for different companies to target. for our application, because with COVID going on, there aren't a lot of places that are actually taking phone calls right now or wanting to do face-to-face meetings. So that's probably one thing I'm losing a good amount of sleep, but I guess it's part of the process, right?
Yeah, definitely. I think there's been a lot of sleepless nights for a lot of people right now. So I don't think you're alone in feeling that right now. I know I'm definitely that as well. And I'm sure a lot of other people on the Zoom call right now have felt the same. So thank you for sharing, Omar.
Anytime.
Let's see who's going to go next. Tyler, would you like to go?
Yes, sir. All right, you guys can hear me okay?
Yep.
Perfect. So, brags that I have was just recently taking my fiance out of the golf course and teaching her how to play golf, which is a frustrating enough sport as it is, but then having the patience to watch your partner go through it. And we came out successful where she ended up beating me on 4 out of the 9 holes. One of the drags is I've been planting trees, and specifically cedar trees, on the outline of the 12 acres I recently purchased. And a farmer took it upon himself to not only farm 2+ acres on my land, but destroyed and ran over 12 of my cedar trees. So I've basically put 2 months in the hand watering them to see my poor trees get crushed and demolished. That was kind of a downer, drag. So thanks for listening to me, guys.
Oh, thanks for sharing, Tyler. That's unfortunate to hear about. I hope you can sort that out. Yeah, property neighbors are always an interesting thing to deal with, that's for sure. Let's see, who can we go to next? Jared, you want to give us your brag and drag?
So yeah, I just lined up a good amount of work to building like custom gym fabric, like custom gym stuff for this guy. I'm not exactly sure what he wants, but I have these 2 repairs to do for him right now, and then you're just going on and on about what he wants built after that. So pretty excited for that. And then I guess a drag would be that while I was fixing his piece of equipment, I messed up and spent an extra 2 hours on it last night. But that's all part of the game. So yeah, that's that.
Awesome, thanks for sharing, Jared. As long as you didn't destroy it, then you're okay. At least you can fix it.
Got it fixed. Job's done.
Awesome. Glad to hear. Kelly, would you like to go? Wait, was that
Sure.
a cat in the background?
Oh, we have 2 studio cats, actually. Okay. Yeah, so that was a cat you saw.
Your background from here looks like it's fake. It's funny.
I know, but like I swear it's real. Like it totally looks like a fake background though, I know. So anyways, so I guess like for me, because I'm moving in a few weeks, it's been like very crazy having to balance my business life with like my packing life. But like a couple of things that went well for me this week was I was able to find a studio space to continue my business in Hong Kong. Space is really at a premium there, and it's like almost impossible to like find places for artists or like artisan businesses to operate out of. So I'm really happy that I found a place that I can do my work in, and it's affordable, and it's for potters, so it has all the equipment I need. I don't have to buy a kiln, I don't have to buy a wheel. Like I can even use their like in-house glazes if I want. So like it's basically all set up. I just have to walk in and do my work. So that really makes it a lot faster for me to be able to just jump right into my work once I move. I also was able to sell two pieces that are more high end and fairly expensive to one client this week. So I was pretty happy about that because I'd been sitting on them for a while, and they saw them from the window because we have kind of a gallery out front, and contacted the space. So that felt good. And something that didn't go well, so the orders I'm completing now, I have some lamps I have to finish before I leave, but the wiring is taking a really long time to ship, and it might not arrive until I'm gone. So, or it might arrive like the day before I leave. So I'm just kind of like hoping that I can finish these jobs before I move. So those are kind of my things. Yeah.
Sharon, man, it's too bad. Omar and Aaron, you guys have a big need for delivery optimization here.
Yeah. I wish I could like incorporate this into my business somehow, because that would be helpful.
That'd be so awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing, Kelly. Who do we have next? Jesse, do you want to go?
Hey guys. Okay, so I guess a bit of a brag. So I launched February of this year, right before everything hit the fan. And I wanted to try, and one of the things I talked to David about when I first met with him was I wanted to try and get into 10 locations before the end of my first business year. And I was looking at my numbers last night, and I'm just about to invoice my 9th place. So it's kind of exciting. I'm pretty stoked about that. Some of them need to be restocked. Some of them I haven't really. One of them I don't really want to do business with again. It was a consignment place, and you kind of just learn how those go. But nonetheless, I've at least had my stuff in 9 different places right now, online or farmers markets or retail locations. So pretty stoked about that.
Amazing.
And then a drag. I overthink things a lot, and yesterday's happy startup canvas was a little intense for me. So I found I kind of I had a rough afternoon just kind of rethinking my business and what problems I was solving and all that kind of thing. So it was a bit of a drag, but by the end of the day at like midnight, I was reading over the medium.com's happy canvas startup page, and kind of made me feel a little bit more comfortable about the whole thing and less intense, like I'm just a hot sauce company kind of thing. So it was a drag, but I guess it turned into be okay. All right. What's up, Omar?
Just wanted to add on to that, Jesse. Sometimes, when I'm losing motivation, I have something that's written down that I always read and that I always go back to. And I write down exactly why I started to do this in the first place. And at the bottom of it, I made myself promise, and I actually signed it. And I said, I will follow through with this, and I'm not going to give up. So maybe look towards something like that, because we all go through this, right? And it's super difficult, like when we start to think negatively and it just completely takes over. Like don't think that you just overthink and we're all fine. I promise you right now, every single person on this call has completely overthought everything they've ever done, right? So think back and say, like, why do you want to do this? And why is it important to you? And then sign your name to it.
Thanks, man. Thank you.
You're definitely not the first entrepreneur to second guess everything. I think it's pretty normal, especially in the early days of your company, to spiral a little bit and to question things. I think it's a good thing, though, because it allows you to kind of revisit, and that's where a lot of creativity can happen too. When you're taking the time to kind of think, is what I'm doing the right path? Did I make these right decisions? Don't look at it as a negative thing. Look at it as an opportunity to kind of learn from yourself. It means that you're reflecting. And I think when we get really busy in our businesses, it's easy to not have that time to reflect and take stock of like how we're actually feeling about it. So I know it can feel negative in the moment, but use this as a time to actually learn from it. And when you said you're just a hot sauce company, I didn't like that at all. You're not just a hot sauce company. You're Jesse, you're a person, and your business means a lot to you. So I think you and I need a bit of a one-on-one, and we can talk. And Omar, thank you so much for sharing. I love that concept of having that promise to yourself. Does anybody else have anything they want to add in on this topic?
You're not just a hot sauce company. You're the hot sauce company.
I have a quick thing actually on that too. And it's something I've been saving to talk to you all about next week, but came up now. I'm going to challenge you that as we do our value propositions from now on, that not a single one of you say the word just, because that's something I've been noting from this week, that a few have been like, yeah, I just kind of make this, or I just do this. And my challenge for you next week is I don't want to hear a single one of you say the word just when we do our value propositions in the morning. Unless it's, I just started. I guess we can make that small exception, but please don't diminish yourselves by using the word just as you jump in. It really actually is a word that doesn't ever need to be used.
I like that. So we finished we finished both, right? Yeah, we did. Okay. Who do we want to pick on next? Charlene, brag and drag for you.
Sure. I actually did have something to add though to that, if that's okay. Mel Robbins, she has, I can post it in the group. She has something called Change Your Life in 5 seconds, and it's the 5-second rule. I'm sure, I don't know if anybody's familiar with that, but it's really popular. She talks about the psychology of how your brain works, and I find it really works. Like sometimes we want to wake up, but we just happen to set the snooze button, and then it turns into half-hour snooze or whatever, longer day. It doesn't really work out. But I'll put this in the chat. It's called the 5-second rule to change your life with Mel Robbins. And yeah, it really works. Like, and she talks about literally how if you think something and then just act on it, no matter, obviously if it's a good thing, do it. Like get up in the morning, or okay, I'm going to go exercise. Just start. Just do it within that 5 seconds. So anyways, yeah. So my break, I guess, would be that I have a lot of people interested in what I'm doing. I haven't launched it yet, but there's a lot of people waiting for me to launch it. And the other thing is that I'm still, the drag, I kind of mentioned it yesterday, is I'm still working on the name, because that's just this kind of the only thing that's holding me back at the moment, and it's really kind of frustrating. So yeah. Oh wait. Hello?
You're muted, Dave.
Darn, sorry. Anyways, sorry. Thanks for sharing, Charlene. That's awesome. Please definitely put a post on the online platform about that. I'd love to learn more about the 5-second rule. Who was the name of the person you said it was?
Mel Robbins, or did I say? Yeah, or is it Brene Brown? I don't know. I follow all these people. Let me just see here. Sorry. What did I say? Mel Robbins? I think I said Mel Robbins. Yeah, Mel Robbins. I follow a lot of people like within the Anthony Robbins, like personal motivation.
Are they related?
No.
Oh, okay.
They all teach kind of the same. It's kind of the same thing.
Right.
Tony Robbins for the win.
Yeah, he's good, but Mel Robbins is pretty amazing too. Like she's a psychologist, and yeah.
Awesome. Well, yeah, please share it in the chat and share it on the platform for everybody. I'm sure we could all benefit from that. Thank you for sharing, Charlene. I'm going to go to Maxwell next.
How's it going, everyone? So my brag for this week would definitely be my sourcing trip. I was able to get quite a bit of heat, so I'm quite happy about that. The guy that I ended up meeting up with was a really cool dude too. Just like a big dude, lots of tattoos, like beard, like the classic dude you would think that would have a stash of vintage tees in his basement. Like that's who the dude was. But he was in North Bay. I ended up contacting him through Kijiji. He ended up posting like an ad of a few t-shirts, and I reached out to him and he told me to come over, and I ended up making the trek. But yeah, I ended up getting some cool teas, so pretty happy about that. My drag would definitely be not being able to see everyone on the video calls this week. So having to go back and rewatch some of the videos would definitely be my drag.
Awesome, thanks, Max. And don't worry, I'm sorry. I just want to say sorry about the video from yesterday, guys. We had a few technical difficulties. I forgot to record one section of part of the presentation yesterday, so I had to kind of splice some video together. And because it was a 4.5-hour video, the rendering took so long. So Tyler and Maxwell, because I know you both weren't on video yesterday, I'll have that up. It's loaded into YouTube right now, so I'll get the link out after today. I think next up we're gonna have Kristen.
Hey, so a brag, it kind of goes back to the getting in your head thing. So a couple of weeks ago, the manager of Forked River approached me about hosting a free run club there every week. And I didn't hear back from her until this week, but that whole time I was in my head thinking, oh my God, she changed her mind. It's not gonna happen. I don't wanna tell anybody yet. But the good news is she got back to me this week. We agreed on a day and a time. So once COVID is over, we will be hosting a free run club from their brewery every Friday. So I'm really pumped about that. That's like a dream a goal I've always been working towards, and I've been trying to find the right place, and they're a perfect fit for us. And then a drag, I guess, would be that I broke my Facebook. To make a long story short, I deleted my my original page that I had used to create my Soul Runners advertising page, and then I created a new one to I just wanted to get rid of my own personal Facebook because I was annoyed of it. So I created a new one so I could continue running that, and then they kicked me off Facebook. They paused all my advertising. They wouldn't let me post any links. So last night I sent them like an email in my mom voice and told them I was very disappointed in them and stuff. They got back to me this morning and apparently they fixed it. So I have to spend the rest of my day re-uploading like all of my products, all of my services. But you know what? It's fixed and it's in perfect time for the Forked River thing. So I guess it kind of is a win at the end of the day, but yeah.
That's awesome. I'm glad that you were able to get that sorted out. I think Kristen was sharing with me, it was a much longer journey of dealing with this than you've described here today. So it's super frustrating. So I'm glad that that's finally all sorted out and you can start fresh. Yeah, as Jesse just said, with a blank slate on the platform. So that's awesome.
Yeah, it's been going on for about 3 weeks. So I'm glad that it's over.
Excellent, excellent. Well, thank you for sharing, Kristen. And then I think we have Suraj as our second last.
Hi everyone. For a drag, so recently my landlord called me and said that I cannot run a business from here. He was okay with it last year. He said that it's fine as long as you have your insurance and everything with that, it's all okay. So he sent me an email yesterday, like a huge 2-page email. And he said that there are some things, and so yeah, that's one of the drags that I came across yesterday. So we're on our way looking for a new location. It's good that, like, the positive side behind this is that they did not do this during tax season when we were working a lot during like full season. But right now it's a little light because it's more of a seasonal business. So it gives us some time to work towards it and also prepare ourselves for next year as well. So yeah, and a brag would be actually a couple. So like, this is not related to taxably, but I'm trying to also get my mortgage broker license. So I'm really interested in real estate. So I'm trying to become a real estate investor. It's a time-taking process, but I'm close. Like, I'm working on my first deal with a couple of partners for my the real estate deal. So that's I'm really happy about that. And for taxably, we just ordered our not-for-profit partner to plant 100 trees in Vancouver, where they planted for the orcas, the whales, so that just they have more food and reforestation, basically. Yeah, and we did that.
Amazing. That's awesome, Suraj. Happy to hear that. I'm sorry to hear about your landlord. That sucks. Is there any alternative spaces that you're looking at?
I am like this email came to me like less than 24 hours yesterday actually. So we did start looking at a couple of places yesterday, but we still have to look and find a proper place with all our cost and budget and everything. Yeah.
Well, if anybody here happens to know of some commercial space or residential that's zoned for commercial, definitely let Suraj know.
We're actually looking for a commercial zoning space where there is a residential and also a commercial aspect of it. That would be great. Renting or buying, if we can get some people, some real estate investors, other real estate investors to partner up to buy the place, that would be also, we can do that. But yeah, if you guys come across anything, please let me know.
Hey Suraj, I know a place in London that's it's not like a place, but like it's a what do you call it? It's a group in London that specializes in real estate investment. So it's actually a Facebook group. It's called London, like it's Fire Meetups. I don't know if you been to
What's it called again?
It's London. So it's called London on Fire.
London on Fire. Oh yeah. I think it's a podcast, right?
They used to have like meetups every month.
Okay.
So now they have like a Facebook group. If you want, I can send you the link to it.
Yeah, that would be great, and I'll write it down as well.
Okay.
Thanks, man.
Raj, you can also look at business improvement associations. So the BIAs, there's an Argyle BIA if you want to be in East London, or the downtown BIA is downtown London. If you work with them, if there's an area you want to be, they'll have connections with landlords. So if you have an area of the city you know you want to be in, finding that BIA, then they'll have a directory of the different landlords and the costs of those areas and kind of help you, figure out your pricing and then give you lists of landlords that you can approach. I'll pop it over here in the chat as well, but that might be a good place for you to start as well while you're doing research.
Okay, thank you. BIA, right?
BIA, yeah.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Can I
got the link.
Oh, sorry. Can I just ask how much space you're looking for?
Not a lot, because we do everything online. We just needed a place where we can like put a sign and everything, so that gives us more credibility as a company. So if people wants to see us face to face, I'm not meeting them at a Starbucks or anything like that. So that's generally the reason we opened it. We don't see people face to face that often, but it's just a place that we need. Maybe like two rooms would be perfect for us. One like an office and another place where if we are meeting clients, so something like that, not too big.
Okay. Yeah. I Tech Alliance made a listing a little while ago, like a couple weeks, but it seems like it's a little bit larger than what you'd be looking for.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Just so everybody knows, like if there is something that you're looking for, use us all as a resource. Like if there's something that you're struggling with, or you need a recommendation or something like that, this group, like right there, there's knowledge that that we all have. So feel free to ask for help and ask questions like that, guys. And thank you.
And I already got so many leads from you guys, so thank you.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing, Suraj. Kelsey, you're up.
Hi, everyone. My brag for this week is probably pretty obvious. I've loved that we're doing this, and it's so great to be finally starting the program and having you all, actually joining us on the platform after months of conceptualizing it, having it actually come to life is pretty darn awesome. Drag, honestly, it's been a pretty good week, I have to say. My drag is probably also kind of related to that, in that my job involves a lot of meetings and getting pulled into a lot of things, which just balancing all of that with trying to spend as much time with you guys ends up with me kind of dropping the ball on a few things. So just trying to get back into the swing of balancing both aspects of my job and my real life all together, all while working from home. So working on getting through that, but it's actually quite timely because we talk about all those kinds of things in Leap In, which also is really helpful for me as I also try and balance my life.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Kelsey. I guess that leaves me. So my brag, obviously, I think is pretty on point with Kelsey's. I'm just happy that this is working, that you're all here. We've put a lot of time into making this happen. And to be honest, I wasn't really sure if doing an accelerator online after advice from other participants in online accelerators and incubators, Ryan being one of them, and a lot of the reading that we did about the pros and cons of it. I'm happy to report that I think, and I think you guys can all think that this seems like it's going well so far, and I'm happy to see you all, and I'm really stoked that we're able to get all this done and start the platform before the summer finishes, or start the program. So I'm happy that you're all here. So my brag is all of you. And my drag is, I think, along the lines of what Omar was saying. I'm just really tired. There's been some really long nights between getting everything ready for this and on the back end sorting out some bugs with the software and then some other stuff with our business. So I'm just sleepy. That's all. That's my only brag. I just need a little extra time in a day to sleep. But other than that, things are pretty great. So I thank you all for going through the first week of Brag and Drag. I think this is a good way for all of us to start to get to know each other a little bit better, learn about each other a little bit more. I know it's, usually when we would do this in person, we'd have our mornings to kind of, have casual conversation and start to learn more about each other. So we're going to try to do exercises like this so that you guys can feel a little bit more connected, even though we're so far apart. So with that, thank you, everybody. And I want to thank Ryan for jumping in and joining us this morning. Thank you so much, Ryan. Before you leave us, I want you to, I'm going to do the typical ask an entrepreneur for advice thing. If there's one or two or three quick things, very quick, that you could offer up as just recommendations or advice to all these amazing entrepreneurs here, what would it be?
Okay, so the best piece of advice is probably to challenge your assumptions. And so when you hear about new things, take the time to think for yourself and understand where your assumptions are and drill further down into those. So that would probably be one of the best pieces of advice that I could give.
Awesome. I like it. Does anyone have questions or anything they want to say to Ryan before he heads off? No, we're okay. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Ryan, for joining us. We really appreciate it. I look forward to catching up with you soon, and keep up the good work with Atrium.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ryan. I appreciate you coming.
Yeah, of course.
Thanks, Ryan. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, likewise.
Yeah. Bye, Ryan.
Hey, that rhymed.
Okay, so we're going to take a quick bathroom break. Take 5 minutes. Kelsey, you got something? Sorry.
Hang on. We're supposed to do the presentations before David gets here. You're muted. You're muted.
Before who gets here?
David?
David who?
Isn't David Moreland coming at 10:30?
Oh my goodness. He is. You're right. I totally forgot. Thank you for reminding me.
You're so welcome.
Yes. Yes, he is.
So if everyone's okay with it, if we can do Jesse's 5-minute and then Tyler's 5-minute and then take maybe a 15-minute break before David gets here. Does that work for everyone? You got another 10 minutes in you? Tyler, I emailed you last night, but I know you're on the phone today. So if you'd like to defer your presentation to a day that you can be in person, just let me know what you would prefer.
No, I'm good to